Hi everybody, welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. So I did go and listen to the gossip, there's only like 2 bits, not very interesting, and that is the end of that.
We were lucky. We had the coin to pay the toll to those bandits. Many didn't.
It's good to see you again, Sister Leliana.
Thank you, Sir Marin.
Who's in charge of this Chantry Templar scum?
The revered mother runs the Chantry itself, and Sir Bryant heads the Templars stationed here.
Did you know there were bandits on the highway?
Were? Did you drive them off? Well, Sir Bryant will appreciate that.
Man, you're pathetic. Can you tell me anything about the caged canary?
Is he still alive? The revered mother put him there a few weeks back. He'll be dead soon enough.
Weeks? Have you heard any news?
Not since Tairn Loghain passed by with his army. It's a shame about the king. But with the Darkspawn coming, few can think of anything else. Make her watch over you.
Pathetic.
It shall be.
Wow, this is called full of refugis as well.
I almost feel sorry for the Kunari locked in that cage. It won't be able to defend itself from the Darkspawn.
There's word.
Are you here to see the Reverend Mother too?
Sign of the main horde.
Yeah, I am actually. Where is she?
In her office arranging for everyone to leave, I suppose. I don't think she's with anyone right now. I came to ask for a blessing. With my family abandoning the farm to flee north, we'll need all the grace the Maker can offer. Well, good luck to you. I need to get underway. If I'm lucky, I'll make it back to the farmhold by nightfall.
Oh, I should have just given them
We
a
are
blessing.
the only hope of protection this village has now, and I will not abandon them. That is all. May the Maker have mercy on us.
Missed most of that.
Yes, my lady? Who might you be?
Your worst nightmare. I'm the Grey Warden Trini. Should I tell him that? No. You can call me Trini.
I am Sir Bryant, commander of Lothering's remaining Templars. You don't seem like the other refugees. Are you one of Arl Eamon's knights?
No. No, I'm not.
Then what might I do for you?
You're very keen on telling him I'm a Grey Warden. What can you tell me about the imprisoned canary?
I was there at the farmhold. The beast stood there, wet with the blood of the children. He didn't even deny slaughtering them. The revered mother ordered him caged. She has more mercy than I do. But perhaps she is right, and the Maker has love for all his creations, even the Kunari.
Is there a way he could be released?
You can ask the revered mother. I say let him rot until the Darkspawn claim him.
Great, so we'll have a killing machine that can kill 10 people in a 10-on-1 fight as a Darkspawn opponent. Good plan there. Can see why you got to be in the Templars. Are you in charge here?
The revered mother leads this flock. I merely command her Templars. Normally, our role is to protect the Chantry and seek out unsanctioned magic. For now, it is all we can do to protect the innocent.
Are you the only protection this village has?
Our ban was summoned by Tairn Loghain, and he took his soldiers north with him. Lothering has been abandoned.
Just out of pure curiosity, how do Templars fight against magic?
We have more than swords at our disposal. We're taught to dispel unholy magics as well. If only our powers work to keep away the Darkspawn. Alas, it is not so.
Yeah, because that would be actually fucking useful rather than just persecuting people. Idiot. Where would I find the revered mother?
In her study, no doubt, preparing what she will take when we eventually evacuate. If the matter is important, certainly.
Have you heard any news?
Other than the Darkspawn horde bearing down on us, none of it is good. Tairn Loghain is set to declare himself king, I hear. Disaster piled on disaster.
What do you mean?
Teyrn Loghain has no legitimate claim on the throne. He may be a hero and his daughter may be queen, but he is a commoner, and the king's corpse is barely cold. If Arl Eamon was able to intervene, perhaps it would not have gone this far. I do not care who takes the throne. Only fools fight over who owns a cottage while it burns down around them.
Good point.
Now, unless there's something else you need.
Yeah, things seem pretty dire in the village.
They are. With the Ban having taken his men north, the village is left to its fate. We will evacuate as many as we can before the Horde reaches us. I will stay as long as I am needed. Now, unless there's something else you need.
Do you have any information?
If the matter is important, certainly. I suppose since you are a mage, I do know something that might interest you. Don't look surprised. I would be a poor Templar if I couldn't tell that much. I have heard word that the Templars who watch over the Circle of Magi's tower have called for the rite of annulment. Hopefully I've heard wrong.
But that means...
If the rite of annulment is invoked, the tower and every living soul within will be destroyed.
We need the Circle's help. We should go and find out what's happening.
To have such a call when mages are needed to fight the Darkspawn, something terrible must have happened. I have nothing else to tell you. The only news I care about is the approaching Horde. Now, unless there's something else you need.
Well, he already knows I'm a mage. I might as well tell him I'm a Grey Warden. Might stop him killing me.
I see. That is certainly worthy of notice. Teyrn Loghain declared all Grey Wardens traitors responsible for the king's death. You know this, I hope.
Yeah, I did know that. I forgot about that. It's not true, though. You know the Grey Wardens didn't do such a thing.
I don't believe the Grey Wardens would be as careless or malicious as the Teyrn claims. But either way, there it is. It is best you not linger, though. Just in case.
About those bandits on the outside of the village.
Maker's breath, how many times must we drive them off?
Oh. Yeah, no, you don't need to drive them off again.
All of them? By yourself?
It's true. I saw it from my post. It was over so fast we didn't even have time to get over there.
Sad that it needed to come to that. But then they asked for it. Will you accept a small reward for your service?
Yeah, certainly, thank you.
If it interests you, there is a Chanters board outside full of quests that need doing. The Chanters even offer pay for some of them. Now, unless there's something else you need.
Any other help you can offer?
I cannot openly help you, I fear, but... Here, take this key. It opens the large cabinet on the far wall. There is more there than we can carry when we evacuate, so take what you need.
Oh, that's pretty kind, thank you.
Travel safely, and may the Maker watch over you.
Ah, well, he wasn't such a bad guy for a Templar, I guess.
You, miss, what is your name? You seem quite odd to me.
You would not be the first to think so. But avert your eyes. I will not have you staring over long.
Best get used to it. I'll be watching you. We want no trouble here.
Ooh. Yeah, no, Morrigan is going to have to be in the team, even though she's a faff to control.
Who? I beg your pardon. I did not see you approach.
Sir Donald? Is that you?
Alistair? By the Maker, how are you? I was certain you were dead.
Not yet. No thanks to Teyrn Loghain.
If Arl Eamon were well, he'd set Loghain straight soon enough.
But if Arl Eamon is sick, why are you here?
Our only hope now is a miracle. Every knight of Redcliffe has gone in search of the Urn of Sacred Ashes. Andraste's ashes are said to cure any illness, but I fear we are chasing a fable. With each day, my hope dims.
Your friend Sir Henrik is dead. I have a note on him.
What? And you have his locket? And a note? Maker's mercy. Thank you for giving me these. I would never have known otherwise.
Yeah, I'm sorry about your friend.
Thank you. I wonder how many of us have met similar fates on this mad quest.
So, tell me more about the Urn of Sacred Ashes.
Supposedly, the urn contains the ashes of the prophetess Andraste. Surely you know all this.
No. No, I have nothing but contempt for your religion.
If you're truly interested, there are books here containing a great deal of lore. Nothing I have found leads me to believe that this was anything more than a quest of desperation. With Henrik gone, I need to return to Redcliffe. Perhaps later I will seek out the scholar his note mentions. But I must go. Thank you again, my lady. You have been most helpful.
But not that particular book you were looking at.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the darkness.
Fools.
The word dispelled
Praying for
fear
help
and
from
ignorance.
prophets they burned,
Let those
and
who
a
cry
God
out
who
from
has
the
turned
shadows
his
be
back on them
comforted.
not once,
Let those
but
who seek
twice.
redemption be delivered. Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the ears of the Maker. Let him hear our unwavering faith. Let him hear our righteous dedication and enduring perseverance.
And then shall the Maker return to us. And then shall the Maker return to the Black City in heaven. And then shall the chant of light make it pure. Let all mankind be humbled. Let all repeat the chant of light. Only the word dispels the darkness upon us.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the darkness. The word dispelled fear and ignorance. Let those who cry out from the shadows be comforted. Let those who seek redemption be delivered. Let those who have sinned be forgiven.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world, let it rise at last to the ears
I think
of
I
the
got the
I shall do it.
gist of that.
Allow me.
I shall
can
do it.
that for you.
Then shall the Maker return to us. And then shall the Maker return to the Black City in
I'm
heaven.
sorry, but I must
And
prepare
then
the
shall
Chantry's
chant
vestments
of
before we
light
flee.
make it
There is
pure.
very little time.
Let all mankind be humbled.
I'm sorry, I cannot talk now. I must feed the holy brazier to ensure the flame never dies.
Dispels the darkness upon us.
Why, what's so significant about the brazier?
It represents the flames that burned Andraste herself. Do you know the tale?
No, but I'm guessing it's merchandise based on death, not like any other religion. Actually, I know very little about human religion.
The prophet was burned in the ancient city of Minrathous before the ancient mages she had fought. Instead of dying in pain as the mages wanted, she was purified by the fire and taken by the Maker into the heavens to stand forever at his side. We are all sinners. The fire symbolizes our hope that forgiveness is possible. Thus, we all serve by feeding its flames.
Are there easier ways to get a fire going?
Of course. The dwarves have offered us coal and special rocks. Even the Circle of Magi volunteered to provide magical flames. If that isn't irony, I don't know what is. The flame means little without the act of remembering and atoning for our sins.
It sounds like make work and a terribly monotonous task.
It should take as much concentration to cleanse the soul as to cleanse the body.
Yeah, because that's what God would want you to do with your life, just waste it. Right, do you know anything about the imprisoned Canary?
Only that the revered mother sentenced him to starve in a cage for the murders he committed. Perhaps the Darkspawn will take him if he's not dead already.
Well, I'll leave you alone then.
I wish you well.
And when the Maker spoke, a chant of light scattered in the darkness. The word dispelled fear and ignorance.
Yes? What can I do for you?
Those who seek redemption be delivered.
I have a letter for you from the Blackstone Irregulars, apparently.
Be forgiven.
I knew this time would come. I should have listened to my sister. Sure, sign the paper, she said. You'll enjoy some coin now, but they'll be back. I guess I'll see you on the front lines.
And when the chant spreads across all four corners of the world,
Full health
let it
potions, I'll
rise at
take
last
it.
to the ears
Better
of the
than not
Maker.
having full health
Let
potions.
him hear our
There is
unwavering
something
faith.
odd
Let him
about you.
hear our righteous
I trust that you are not here to make
dedication
trouble.
and enduring perseverance.
And then shall the Maker return to us. And then shall the Maker return to the Black City.
What are you actually doing?
Good day, Sister Liliana. I'm surprised to see you're still in Lothering.
It is good to see you as well, Your Reverence.
I do not recognize your companion. Greetings. Will you be making a donation to the Chantry? Our need has never been greater.
No. No, I'm not. You're joking.
A great number of people could be fed and clothed for a fraction of your finery. But you must do as your heart wills. What can I do for you then?
You don't get embezzled by you anyway. Well, like your fucking finery. You're dressed in fucking gold. I want to talk about Sten, the canary you imprisoned.
It might have been kinder to execute him, but I leave his fate to the Maker. Why does he interest you?
Because he can kill 10 men. What did he do?
He butchered an entire farmhold. Only one of the youngest hid long enough to survive. The child said his father had found the canary gravely wounded and took him in. That kindness was repaid with murder. The bandsman found the canary just standing amidst the carnage. He did not resist them.
I wonder where this boy is now. I mean, you're certain he did it?
He confessed quite readily, but would give no reason for the crime. Even the seasoned knights who apprehended him were disturbed by the carnage. However docile he appears, do not be fooled. That canary is a danger.
Oh, I guess she did cover that she has no motivation for him. Still, he is a great killer. Yeah, I think I do have a use for him. I'm pretty confident I can kill him if I need to.
Then his next victims might count you and me as their murderers.
That's a good point. I think you might want to release him into my custody.
And what do you say on this, Liliana? You know your friend better than I.
These are unusual times, Your Reverence. With us, the Kunari might do some good. I am sure of it, in fact.
Were things not so desperate? Very well, I trust you. Take these keys to his cage and make her watch over you.
Thank you, Your Reverence. Your trust is not misplaced.
Oh, that was easier than I expected.
Yes? What can I do for you now?
I'm a Grey Warden, by the way. I need your help.
A Grey Warden? Here? Oh dear. You put me in a difficult position. You must know that Tairn Loghain declared the Grey Wardens to be outlaws.
Yeah, I've heard that, but what do I care for Loghain's lies?
The Tairn claims that the Grey Wardens are responsible for the King's death. There is a price on your head. Lay low, and I promise to keep your presence a secret. That is the best I can do. Now, if there is nothing else?
Can you provide any help at all?
I cannot help you without risking the safety of this village in Chantry. The best I can do is keep your presence a secret. I am sorry. Now, if there is nothing else?
No, nothing else. I should go.
May the Maker guard you, Grey Warden.
Well, there wasn't really a lot in this village. I mean, it was pretty much sold to us as just somewhere to go.
Fear and ignorance. Let those who cry out from the shadows.
I mean, do I have any other reason to be in Lothering? Chanter's bored, don't really care that much. Oh yeah, I've got to go get the prisoner out. No, I don't think there is a lot of other reason to stay here. Don't know how to get there, so I'm not going to bother. Still, I have come all the way to the edge of the village. This is it. This is what is here in Lothering. Not a huge amount. I feel like we've aced it.
So, let me get this straight. You were a cloistered sister?
You must have been a brother before you became a Templar, no?
I never actually became a Templar. I was recruited into the Grey Wardens before I took my final vows.
Do you ever regret leaving the Chantry?
No, never. Do you?
Yes. You may not believe it, but I found peace there. The kind of peace I've never known.
It used to get so quiet at the monastery that I would start screaming until one of the brothers came running. I would tell them that I was just checking. You never know, right?
No, I never did anything like that. I enjoyed the quiet.
Suit yourself. The look on their face was always priceless.
You wish something more of me?
I have the key that opens your cage.
I confess, I did not think the priestess would part with it.
She agreed to release you into my custody.
So be it. Set me free and I will follow you against the Blight.
How can you help us out exactly?
I have spent my life in the Vanguard. I know war, and your lands need all the help they can get.
I knew that, I just wanted to make him say something positive. Alright, I'll let you out.
And so it is done. I will follow you into battle. In doing so, I shall find my atonement.
Thank you, Stone. Glad to have you with us.
May we proceed? I am eager to be elsewhere.
Well, I'm going to drop Leliana
Yes.
for the time being. I guess he was locked up in a cage, so no, he doesn't have anything. He draws enemies in, that's good. And he uses two-handed weapons, which are also better than one-handed weapons. Well, that's what equipment I've got for him for the time being. We'll see how this formation goes. Alright, what are the... I picked some quests up from that board. I didn't really read them properly, I'll be honest. Bears north of Lothering. And a missing woman. No. They can't all be here. They can't just put all the side quests in the village in this one field. Oh. Maybe they did. Go on then. Go, go, go. Ah.
At your order.
Pretty injured here. Well, they weren't bears. Oh, the corpse has just spawned in. Oh, wow.
It is begun.
You found the body of the boy's mother and have kept her keepsake. Now, have they really buried...
As you say.
Have they really added a bear here as well? Yeah, they have. Sorry, but that is pretty tacky. Right, so if I go for vulnerability haze...
There we go.
And then... Is that an area effect around yourself? No, it's on the target. Oh, I only got one of them, that sucks.
They're on while you can.
Well, those bears were pretty poor. I wonder how many of these quests it'll just keep spawning. I wonder if they're all going to be in this field. I could teach Alistair trap making. Seems a bit of a waste, but I could do that. Clear that quest. Or I could send Liliana into like just a character with the out of combat skills. No skills.
The path of righteousness is full of hardship, but the Maker smiles upon its travelers. And the stars stood still, the winds did quiet, and all animals of earth and air held their breath. All was silent in prayer and thanks.
Right, as far I think we're done with loitering then. Let's head off to Al-Aman town. There's no need to... Oh. Okay. I see. Have I met these people? I don't think so.
Where can we go? This is no better than what we left.
Yeah, I've interacted with all these things. Apart from the trap woman, which I can't really interact with. I think I'm done here.
It shall be done.
Bad dreams, huh?
Seemed real.
Well, it is real. Sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon is in the dragon.
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Oh man, are there any other surprises I should know about?
Other than dying young and the whole defeat the Blight alone thing, no. I'm all tapped out for surprises. Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
It's the middle of the night.
Yes?
I like to talk.
Well, here I am.
What was life like in the Chantry cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Yeah, they're a bunch of pricks. Self-righteous. I'm not particularly fond of them.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
What did you say to those people?
What can I say to them? What they believe is what the Chantry says, and the Chantry is infallible, yes? Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now. Yes? Well, here I am.
What were you doing in Lothering's Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
Well, they didn't teach you how to fight in the cloister, did they?
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
Affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the Chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
What did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
No, but that doesn't mean I don't mourn his loss.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, there's no need to apologise. He actually did die. You know, you're allowed to mourn him.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
What about the other Grey Wardens?
I don't know. I have no idea what the Grey Wardens do for them when they fall in battle. The Dalish don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead?
We bury them under a tree. No, we bury them and then plant a tree over their remains.
That sounds quite beautiful. Life springing from death. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
He was a friend of mine too.
That's good to hear. It's nice to know I'm not the only one who remembers him well. What do you need? Ask away.
Tell me more about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
No, this is quite in depth. Where's the nearest Grey Wardens from here?
That's a good question. There's plenty in Orlais, but who knows where they might be found. And the nearest Orlesian city is weeks away. If we go north and cross the sea, there's bound to be some in the Free Marches. Again, however, I just don't know where. I don't know anything about Grey Wardens in other lands.
Is there a Grey Warden's headquarters somewhere?
Here in Ferelden, there's our compound in Denerim at the palace, but that's it. Loghain will have control over that and be watching it, no doubt. Beyond that, the only place I know of is Weishaupt Fortress. That's the headquarters of all Grey Wardens in the Anderfels, 1,000 miles from here, but I've no idea how to even contact them. So unless we try to get back to the compound in Denerim, I suppose the answer is no. There's nowhere for us to go.
So what happens now that there's just the two of us?
I imagine that eventually the Grey Wardens outside of Ferelden will wonder what's happened. Why there's no contact from Duncan or someone. They'll send someone eventually. Though who knows what Loghain's people in Denerim will tell them. Maybe they won't send anyone. We could try to contact them. But that would mean leaving Ferelden, and even if we did, they couldn't come back with us in time to stop the Blight. So that means whatever happens, it's up to us.
Will we need to start rebuilding the Order?
I mean, eventually we would have to use the joining to make more Grey Wardens, right? But I don't know how to do the joining, or what's involved. I know it involves lyrium and some other magic, and that it's really difficult to prepare, but that's it. Unless we can find out more about the joining, I guess we better get used to the idea that there might only be two of us for now. Until more come from elsewhere. About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough. What do you need? Ask away.
How did you become a Grey Warden?
Same way you did. You drink some blood, you choke on it, and pass out. You haven't forgotten already, have you?
No, I mean before that. Come on, Alistair. I was trying to be nice.
Let's see. I was in the Chantry before. I trained for many years to become a Templar, in fact. That's where I learned most of my skills.
Well, you don't seem like the religious sort.
You're telling me I was banished to the kitchens to scour the pots more times than I can count. And that's a lot. I can count pretty high. The Grand Cleric didn't want to let me go. Duncan was forced to conscript me, actually, and was she ever furious when he did. I thought she was going to have us both arrested. I was lucky.
Do you think this is any better than being a Templar?
Oh, I suppose the Chantry life is good enough for some. Here, we have the chance to fight against the Blight. To actually do some good instead of sitting in a temple somewhere. I'll always be thankful to Duncan for recruiting me. If it hadn't been for him, you know, I wouldn't have.
Well, he was a good man. You can be emotional about it.
He was. A good man who didn't deserve his fate. That much I'm sure of. Come on, let's go. I think I'm done talking. What do you need? Ask away.
So you said Eamon raised you.
Oh, did I say that? I meant that dogs raised me. Giant slobbering dogs from the Anderfels. A whole pack of them, in fact.
Yeah, you could have lied and said you were raised by the Chantry.
Oh, there you go, listening to me again. You'd think you'd have gotten past that already. I ended up in the Chantry, sure, but I didn't start there. Let's see, how do I explain this? I'm a bastard. And before you make any smart comments, I mean the fatherless kind. My mother was a serving girl in Redcliffe Castle who died when I was very young. Our Lehman wasn't my father, but he took me in anyhow and put a roof over my head. He was good to me, and he didn't have to be. I respect the man, and I don't blame him anymore for sending me off to the Chantry once I was old enough.
Maybe he is your father and he killed your mother. Why did he send you off to the Chantry?
Our Lehman eventually married a young woman from Orlais, which caused all sorts of problems between him and the king because it was so soon after the war. But he loved her. Anyhow, the new Arlessa resented the rumors which pegged me as his bastard. They weren't true, but of course they existed. The Arl didn't care, but she did. So off I was packed to the nearest monastery at age 10. Just as well. The Arlessa made sure the castle wasn't a home to me by that point. She despised me.
Well, she despised a 9-year-old child. Yeah, it was a pretty shitty thing to do to a child.
Maybe. She felt threatened by my presence, I can see that now. I can't say I blame her. She wondered if the rumors were true herself, I bet. I remember I had an amulet with Andraste's holy symbol on it. The only thing I had of my mother's. I was so furious at being sent away, I tore it off and threw it at the wall and it shattered. Stupid, stupid thing to do. The Arl came by the monastery a few times to see how I was, but I was stubborn. I hated it there, and blamed him for everything. And eventually, he just stopped coming.
And you children are stubborn. You were young.
And raised by dogs. Or I may as well have been, the way I acted. But maybe all young bastards act like that. I don't know. All I know is that the Arl is a good man, and well loved by the people. He also was King Caelan's uncle, so he has a personal motivation to see Loghain pay for what he did. Anyway, that's really all there is to the story.
Why are we stopping?
I just want to talk to her for a moment.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
You say that, but you were in a cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
I don't really know anything about Qunari. I've never seen one before. Tell me about your people.
No.
No? Please?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of, the elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
You fucking cheeky little shit. A little hostile, aren't you?
Many humans have said that to me. I do not understand it. If I were indeed hostile, you would be bleeding.
You said you were in an army?
I am.
And when did you decide to become a soldier?
Decide? I am a Sten of the Beresad. I did not choose to be who I am any more than you did.
Why did the Qunari send you here?
The Antam are the eyes, hands, and mouth of the Qunari. We are how my people know the world.
Didn't really answer my question.
No, I didn't.
Have you ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, elf.
What do you mean by that?
My people have been at war since the moment we set foot in the Northern Islands.
Well, obviously the natives didn't want to give up their land.
It is not the native humans we fight.
Who then?
The enemy is everywhere. The jungle itself, vipers, hunting cats, even some of the flowers can kill the unwary. And always there is the Imperium and the Talvashoth.
The Talvashoth?
I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
I mean, what's your hurry?
What a strange language you speak. You say hurry where I would say duty.
I don't see why it's your duty to handle the blight, though.
No, it is yours, and you are chatting with me instead.
Well, that was helpful. Let's get going.
As you wish.
A DLC just plonked here.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick at your service once again. I saw your camp and remember the kind offer that you made the last time we met. And is there anywhere safer for a poor merchant and his son to sleep? I think not. I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Yeah, actually, that sounds good. Have you been following me?
Following you? I'm not even certain where you're going, my friend. And quite frankly, it's none of my business. Trust me when I say that my encountering you here was serendipity and nothing more. I travel a lot, so I'm bound to meet everyone on the road eventually. If you prefer, I'll take my boy and be on my way. But regretfully, you're the safest spot on this road, without a doubt.
Nah, I'm not going to kick you out. What are you say? Let me see your wares. Don't need to be rude.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Ah, he does have a staff, and it is a lot better than my staff, but I can't afford it. And he's got some heavy armour here as well. Yeah, we'll investigate this later.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to discuss something personal.
We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any.
No, that's a bit rude.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kolkari wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
I mean, you could if you wanted to.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
You remained unnoticed?
For the most part. Flemeth taught me well. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
That sounds pretty daring. Like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was pretty quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I don't know. I'm not human.
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes, how to eat at a table, how to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Well, I'm glad you're with us, at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes? What do you wish of me? We are in camp, so 'tis as good a time as any. What do you wish of me? If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You had no trouble with any of them?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
But surely more would have just followed those Templars.
Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
What exactly is an apostate? I think I'm an apostate.
You do not know? The Zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates. And apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
Yeah, I agree.
An interesting answer for a mage. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
No, I agree with you. I don't agree with the fucking Templars. Ballsed it up. And on that bombshell, thank you for watching. Come back next time, the next part of Dragon Age Origins.